Hello, hello, hello. You're listening to Midnight Movie Gang. It's been a minute.
Yes.
It's currently 8:51 p.m. Night Movie Gang. Joseph, we are in the same time zone.
Yep.
There ain't going to be no
Thank
confusion
God.
there. Hello, folks. For those of you, if this is your first episode, welcome back. This is the first episode we've recorded after this lull.
Mm-hmm.
But the episode, I haven't even edited the last episode we recorded, like, before we moved, because Courtney and I moved to undisclosed location, and Joseph and I are
under a mountain.
Yeah, we moved under a mountain, we moved, and we've been busy moving. So I announced on our social media that there's going to be a gap in programming, which
There it was.
I'm ready to get back at it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be rock and rolling. I'm gonna have more free time in general, so there's gonna be all sorts of new shit popped out. So folks,
Hell yeah.
Stay tuned for all that. For those of you just tuning in, this is a show where we talk about primarily horror, sci-fi, genre cinema, lesser known films.
Yep.
I would put both of these movies. Both of these movies are definitely thrillers that we're talking about today.
Mm-hmm.
Both of these movies, I think, certainly one of them in particular has significant horror elements.
Yeah.
I think they both do interesting things. Joseph and I watched Love Lies Bleeding together before we moved, and I don't know what your opinion is on Nocturnal Animals yet, but I'm excited to hear it.
Yep. Keeping it a secret for now.
Oh, my shit disappeared. But yeah, so I'm trying to think. Which one should we talk about first?
Let's do Love Lies Bleeding first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's been so long since we forgot. It's been so long since we did the podcast. Joseph, I almost forgot the fucking format. What did you know about Love Lies Bleeding before we watched it? Like anything?
I had seen the poster before.
And that's it.
Yep.
You didn't know
I saw two women standing with a blue background, I think.
Oh yeah, wait, no, I know the exact. They're like, I think it's like them standing over a body or something.
Something like that,
or like from the perspective.
Maybe
of
one
body,
of them's holding a gun. I don't know.
Yeah, something that.
That's the one.
Yellow.
It was yellow background. No, that's blue. That's the one. Yeah, one of them's holding a gun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's the thumbnail.
That was my extent of my knowledge of this movie.
Rock and roll. Cool. And obviously you knew who Kristen Stewart was.
Yeah.
From her famous performance in Zathura, a space adventure.
Damn. Deep ref.
Zathura would be a great fucking episode. Holy shit.
Never saw it.
Really?
Yep.
Well, then, yep. Well, now that's
on the
next
list.
week.
Yeah.
That's next week, folks. But yeah, no. For me, Courtney and I saw this movie. Saw the trailer for this movie we saw it in the trailer in the theater during some other A24 film, because it's a A24 film, which another thing, I keep forgetting the format. Just to let people know, Love Lies Bleeding is a 2024 romantic thriller film directed by Rose Glass from a screenplay she wrote with whatever the fuck that name is, starring Kristen Stewart, Katie O'Brien, Jenna Malone, a bunch of other people, and a creepy ass Ed Harris.
Yep.
He
always is.
Yep. He's particularly extra creepy in this movie, though.
Yep.
But yeah, no, we saw the trailer in theaters. We thought it looked really cool. Mainly just a lot of it was like, oh my god, all this like crime and violence and gay, like this looks sick. Just in general, it's this movie is definitely how do I put it? Something. It's not necessarily something with the film, but something I like seeing is that we're getting a big rise in like a lot of queer stories and queer characters in cinema lately, in genres that we don't typically see, because like the thing is, and my brain is grasping for straws in terms of like other movies that I would say, like, I know you weren't a fan of this film that I'm about to mention, but Saltburn is also in that realm of like movies where yes, the characters are not straight, but
that's not like
but that is not the focus of the film.
It's not Brokeback Mountain.
Exactly, like it's not a movie that is about.
It's not Satan's Alley from the beginning of Tropic Thunder.
Exactly, it's these kind of really adult dramas and genre films that we just have not seen not straight characters before in these kind of movies. Like Love Lies Bleeding, in my opinion, the kind of movie that it evokes for me is like the kind of like the late '80s, early '90s crime thriller.
Blood Simple.
Yeah, Blood Simple, like early. There's some early Tarantino elements in there. True Romance is the biggest movie that it is as far as like kind of gangster movie. There's some Scorsese elements. Just like this cocaine fueled, like that kind of thing that we've never seen characters in before, and that was why I was excited to see it. And when I saw it, personally for me, it didn't let me down.
No.
Just real quick, before I give my kind of spoiler-free-ish thoughts. Overall, what did you think of this movie? Like, if somebody said, like, "Hey, do you recommend it?" What did you think of it?
Yeah, it was good.
What would you say?
I liked it. I thought it was fun. It was novel at the very least, but it was also the performances are great. There's a lot of really cool ideas in there. It's got a cool atmosphere. It's very creative. It's a super creative movie. I would recommend it.
Yeah, it's got a great look.
Yeah,
it's got a good
vibe.
It's definitely a vibe movie, but it's got a nice little kind of noir story. Yeah. Kristen Stewart. The whole movie is kind of.
If you want a really good fanfic about Ellie and Abby actually getting together,
this is the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we there was a lot of Last of Us 2 discussion while we were talking about this movie.
Yeah.
So let's break into the plot of this bad boy. In a rural New Mexico town in 1989, reclusive gym manager Lou navigates relationships with her sister Beth, Beth's husbands JJ, and a flirtatious friend Daisy. So this movie, I forget if it opens up in the gym with Lou cleaning the toilet, right? That's how the movie opens.
Yeah.
So we get introduced. So we can talk a little bit about Kristen Stewart's character first. When we first meet her, she's cleaning this toilet. She manages this gym. In this scene, she encounters what the fuck is the character's name? The girl that her flirtatious friend Daisy. Who Daisy is a meth head who Kristen Stewart has had a sexual and potentially romantic history with. And she's trying to get her to go on a date with her.
Yeah, she's obsessed with her.
To go to this diner, and Kristen Stewart just very clearly isn't having it. Right off the bat, we're introduced to kind of this grimy gym, this world, and what were you thinking so far at this point in the movie?
Southwest as fuck. It's sweaty. It's desert.
Yeah.
The characters are really interesting. I like Kristen Stewart in this. I'm not. I haven't seen her in a lot of stuff, but this is a good example of what she can actually do, because she's got a really strong range in this too. Usually she's not able to stretch as much as she does.
Yeah. There's a part in this movie where I don't know.
It's also it's also a really well-defined character. That she I like it. I like her character, and I like her in this. I haven't seen her in a lot, but I guess she's been in a lot. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, no, Kristen Stewart has been after Twilight, she's been in a lot of stuff that hasn't been as financially successful, and movies that haven't necessarily been critically acclaimed, but she's been good in them. Did you see Underwater?
Nope.
It's her Underwater, the 2020 movie, is her it's what's it called? It's her audition for Alien.
Okay.
It's pretty much she it's Alien underwater.
Okay.
It's Aliens underwater essentially.
It's underwater sea monster movie.
Yeah, and she's playing the Ripley final girl character, and she's really good in it.
Cool.
And in my opinion, the reason why this movie bombed as hard as it was a January movie for one.
Fuck you, it's January.
But it also came out in 2020, which was the black hole year of any movies that came out that year. People just
it was
don't
cursed
remember.
And doomed.
Exactly. She's really good. This character is really well written. I think something I kind of appreciated more this time around watching it with y'all was you can see that she's actively dealing with her past.
Right.
She is in the midst.
She can't escape it.
Yeah, she's still in the midst of processing what she's been through, what she was forced to do. Because but we're talking about spoilers now. Like basically, her dad, played by Ed Harris in this movie, Lou Senior, which I like. I like that they both have the same name. I think it's cute. Is like some they nothing. He's a criminal mastermind type dude. Like he is like some large.
Yeah.
I think mainly he works in guns.
He's one of these movie general bad guys.
Yeah, he's just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
They don't tell you exactly how he's a piece of shit, but he's a piece of shit.
Trust that he is.
Criminal lord, and Kristen Stewart's character through like these little these little flashbacks, these like little really stylized like vignettes where the whole screen is just red. Which by the way, I love the use of red in this movie.
Yeah.
It's a fucking cheat code, but every time they use it for me, it just fucking works.
Yeah, it looks A24 as hell.
Yeah, no, just throw it in red. That she used to work directly for her father. She has probably she's killed some people.
Yeah,
she's
done some bad shit.
She's done some bad shit, and she doesn't want to live that life anymore. She wants to leave the town. She wants to do things, but she's just still processing it. And she's just like, she's not ready. You know what I mean? And something that we're about to get right into it. That is important about her relationship with her, the co-star in this movie, the other lead, Jackie, played by Katie O'Brien, is that Jackie is the starter for Kristen Stewart. She's the one who motivates. The whole movie is like, hey, come to Vegas with me. Yeah. That is her thing. But speaking of which, so within this scene we get introduced to Jackie. I think the first scene we see with Jackie is she's having sex with Dave Franco in this car with his little rat-tailed ass.
They made him look as gross as possible.
He's a real slimy bastard. Every man in this movie is well. Then again, there's only really two. Which, by the way, it's just a pretty small cast in general.
Two and shrinking.
Yeah. No, it's Dave Franco, Lou Senior, and then there's the cop. He's barely a character. He's
like barely in it.
He's just a cop that shows you could have written him out.
Yeah.
She has sex with Dave Franco, and whether or not she's having sex with him to try to get a job at this place, she gets a job through him at the gun range that Lou Senior owns, and is kind of like his base of operations. And Dave Franco is trying to kind of be his underling, right hand man.
Right.
Type dude.
Yeah. He's trying to get in on this vague criminal empire.
Yeah. Jackie, we see Jackie sleep with him. She goes and sleeps under a bridge, under the interstate bridge. We see her kind of morning routine. She's a bodybuilder. She's yoked.
Yeah.
We see her working out in the morning, and then the next scene, the characters meet each other. Jackie ends up at the gym. Kristen Stewart sees her across the gym. And instantly, they see each other. And they have this,
the fall in love shot.
Yeah, just combined with there are just a lot of there's this big emphasis on just how crazy bodybuilding is in this movie. It's cool because Rose Glass, the director, we watched the behind the scenes for this after we did, and she talks about how she did not grow up in the world of body, but she's this petite British woman.
She wasn't even in the American Southwest.
Yeah. She just finds she really. It's interesting to see this world taken from this really observational viewpoint, from this outsider thing. The things she emphasizes on the muscles and the sweat.
Yeah.
The sound design of the machines going and metal pumping and stuff, and just the kind of
it's a weird thing.
Yeah, it just makes it weird, but also you understand when it comes to Jackie, especially what Kristen Stewart sees the sexual aspect of it, and the attraction of the power and standing out.
Yeah,
at least I think that's what Kristen Stewart sees with Jackie, and I think they say it in the behind the scenes too. Is the thing Kristen Stewart, the biggest thing is she's just never seen anybody who looks like that. Yeah, and just is immediately kind of taken aback.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, bro.
No, yeah. It just immediately catches their attention, and everything slows down, and it's these two meeting is gonna be trouble for everybody.
exactly. Just like, oh, this is the movie.
Yeah.
Yep. So they flirt outside after the gym is closed, and then some bodybuilder dudes try to hit on Jackie. There's a bit of a violent. We get a little hint of kind of her hotness. They say something. They call Lou a slur.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say the D word.
Yeah.
Because it's known that Lou's gay in this town. And Jackie punches this guy like out of just real quick, just escalated.
Yeah. And she is into it.
Yeah, no, Kristen Stewart's like, yeah, and fucking is a little hint as what's to come as far as like Jackie's kind of hotheadedness as it plays like a big role in the movie. But yeah, no, so basically, Kristen Stewart, Jackie hang out in the gym. Kristen Stewart offers her steroids.
Mm-hmm.
You had said during the movie, this is like a feeder eater.
Yeah, feeder gainer. Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely an element of it. Like, it ain't a healthy relationship.
Yeah, she's into it though. Yeah.
But it is a passionate one. They have sex. They have sex for the first time in the gym, which, just in general, for those of you, I don't know if I want to call this a warning. I guess, it's valid to be uncomfortable during sex scenes in movies.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sex scenes.
It's a horny movie. This goes for both of them. They're both weird, explicit movies.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, both of them very much are. I'd say Love Lies Bleeding is way more horny.
Well, it's hornier, but I'd say fucking Nocturnal Animals is a little more explicit.
Yeah, true. Well, it's also dealing with. I feel like Nocturnal Animals is
it's a little dark. It's a lot darker.
A lot darker, yeah. But we'll get to it. Less fantastical for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Whether or not that's a warning. Yeah, at the very least, I like how all the sex scenes are shot.
Yeah,
like the colors are always good. There's this like really orange hue that like goes over like all of them. It's very clear that like orange and this kind of like warmth was the vibe for all of them, and they're shot in this like really nice, consistent way in Kristen Stewart's apartment.
It's a very easy relationship to buy. Like you can see because like for the sake of the plot and everything that happens later on, they have to have this like crazy like white hot bond. Like Mickey and Mallory type shit.
Yeah, they have this instant chemistry.
Yeah.
And then, there's a scene in there where Jackie meets Lou Senior, and he's got all of his bugs, which is important later. He's a weird bug guy.
Yep.
Which we haven't mentioned his hair. He's got he's
bald with long hair.
He's super bald on the top of his head, and then he's got this like long flowing fucking Legolas hair.
White hair.
Yep, and it's funny because I'm sure his hat stays on his head perfectly because it just fits over his bald fucking head.
Perfect hair for this character.
He looks like a fucking creep. And what's funny to me is I didn't realize it's extensions that Ed Harris is wearing. So like he wore them during the whole time of production. Not even, and he had said that he loved wearing them. But it's so funny. It's like you went to the fucking grocery store looking like that? Yeah, there's a cool montage, a cool 80s style montage of bodybuilding and stuff.
Yeah. So sweaty.
And then I'd say the kind of the turning point in the movie we get. Another quick thing. I'm just gonna say, Dave Franco's character is married to Kristen Stewart's sister Beth.
Right.
In this movie, and he's very clearly physically abusive, like from the jump. And Kristen Stewart.
Everybody can see it.
Everybody can see it. Kristen Stewart hasn't done anything about it because Beth loves her abusive husband.
Yeah, she's trapped in the relationship like a lot of people are.
I don't know if I call this a plot hole, but I'm surprised that Lou Sr. would let that shit slide for his daughter in general.
Yeah.
Because he's also aware of it.
Yeah. It just shows how he views women.
Yeah, that's true. How he views people in general too is just like everybody is a tool for him.
Yeah.
What's it called? So Kristen Stewart, Lou Jr., Jackie, Dave Franco, I forget JJ's his character's name. A lot of all the names are so short. And Beth are all having dinner at some diner. Beth is clearly beaten up. Kristen Stewart's pissed about it. It's awkward too because Jackie has slept with Dave Franco and Kristen Stewart doesn't know about it, and it's all it's an awkward dinner. And Kristen Stewart and Jackie, I'm just interchangeably using the fucking names.
It's fine.
of characters
It's a
at this
normal
point.
thing to do.
For some of them, well, it's because like I don't immediately think Katie O'Brien,
Yeah.
because like, she's like a lesser known actress, but like
It's
I know Kristen Stewart,
Yeah.
I know Dave Franco,
Yeah.
I know Dear Evan Hansen, but basically, yeah, they have a little bit of a fight, and then the next day, I believe Beth ends up in the hospital. Presumably after that dinner, Dave Franco just beat the shit out of her, like beat her unconscious.
Yep.
And Kristen Stewart,
She is upset.
yeah, she's upset. Lou Senior's there. He's, they're looking for JJ. He doesn't, and he's like, we have to go. We, like, he says like she wouldn't want him killed or beaten up or whatever.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, weird. Jackie's watching this whole thing. And we
find out that Jackie's actually a fucking insane person.
that Jackie is not stable. It starts with like
No.
you see we
Between
see her
the
like
steroids and the love, she's lost her mind.
yeah, she's really gone. Yeah, she starts scratching at the chair that she's sitting in. You see this like look
Yep.
in her. Katie O'Brien has
She's
this
got
great
this crazy dead eyes.
this like manic look where you
Yeah.
just see like the beast come out. Like this is the She-Hulk that I really want. And at this point, she kind of just becomes a machine. We see there's this shot of her that might be my favorite shot of just like her, because like how do I put it? She was like her body is amazing to look at in this film. Just in terms of like it really is like what like the work that she put in to look like that, but also just like the costume
The wardrobe,
design,
goes a long way.
just her mannerism, just her physicality, like, and the shot I'm talking about is like when she's walking out of the hospital going into Lou's truck, and she's just like, she's like a Terminator.
Yeah, she does look like it. You said she'd be a good casting as a Terminator reboot.
Yeah, our Terminator, our Romulus
In the Romulus universe.
in the Romulus universe, yeah, the A24's Terminator, she'd be a good Terminator. The way she's just like with just purpose to this truck.
Yeah.
And we get the first scene that's like super horror movie where like Dave Franco comes home and all the lights are off, and Jackie comes out of the fucking shadows and fucking destroys his ass.
Yeah.
Like she like takes his body, like she knocks him down, and then she like slams his head and jaw against
and
the
violence
coffee
that we
table.
had not seen yet in this movie.
Yeah, and it's like terrifying.
It's the end of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Exactly. She's just standing over him, like covered in blood, and she's like there. And then Kristen Stewart sees her truck, finds JJ's body. She's freaked out about it.
Yep.
She finds Jackie just sitting in the bathtub, fully clothed, like kind of just freaking out.
Yep.
And then they dispose of the body.
No questions, just like
no questions.
All right, well, there's really only one thing we can do next, is that's get rid of this body.
Yep. And it's just like from this point on, it's like the movie is kind of Kristen Stewart reacting to Jackie
cleaning up
crazy.
after Jackie.
Yeah,
because that's not the last crazy thing Jackie does.
No, indeed not. But yeah, and this is probably like my favorite section of the movie. It's like we really ramp up into like additional so I really like the plot line. It's kind of a twist where Kristen Stewart and Jackie run into Daisy as they're disposing of the body, and the next day like Daisy comes up to Kristen Stewart, is like, hey, I saw you with that big girl driving JJ's truck. I never forget a Camaro. And it's cool. I really like it because Daisy becomes a bit more of a sinister character in this moment. Like how she blackmails Kristen Stewart,
Yeah, she turns into a real scumbag because she's so obsessed with Lou. And after all this, like, she's been turned down, she goes full incel and says, well, I have something on you now, so
so have sex with me. Yeah, no, fucking she becomes an interesting character, although she gets duped pretty quickly because she's not that smart.
She's not.
Like there's the scene with her and Kristen Stewart in the diner where Kristen Stewart kind of like tricks her into like not going to the cops, like, well, I can get in trouble. And she's like, Lulu, I had no idea.
Yeah, she's really, she doesn't think very far ahead.
Yep. And then yeah, Jackie. Oh, and yeah, this whole time, Jackie is just taking more and more steroids. She's getting more unstable. I forget how she. Oh, she goes to the bodybuilder competition, which I don't even think we mentioned. She's getting ready for a bodybuilder
competitive bodybuilder.
Bodybuilder competition in Vegas. She goes to it, which that's one of the craziest scenes in the movie visually, where she's and it's also presumed that she took acid before because she hitchhikes,
Yeah,
and she gets picked up by this hippie van.
and then when she gets out, that's when things get really trippy from her point of view. So
yeah. We see all these like crazy visualizations. The sound design also too. Like the sound gets like really echoey, like as if it's like from a speaker far away. And we get all these close up shots of Jackie's face
with her crazy eyes, yeah,
smiling while she's like posing. And yeah, we get this like sequence where, you know, and it is like as far as like it really going off, like she throws up Kristen Stewart, like comes out of her body.
Yep.
And
yeah, this movie it's a lot more subjective than you might think it is going into it.
Yeah, it kind of goes into like, and we haven't even talked about the theme of this episode really, and the thing that connects these two movies, that and the reason I thought Nocturnal Animals would be a good one is the book-like qualities that both these movies exhibit. That Love Lies Bleeding, like you said, this movie does a great job at making us feel like we're in these characters' heads.
Yes. Yeah.
Like with Jackie, it's more like with her trippy sequences where she's roided up and she's going nuts. With Kristen Stewart, it's more like when her anxiety comes and we see her like red flashbacks and stuff. Yeah, it does a really good job at like making you feel, and also just the way these scenes are directed. Like the movie takes place over the course of a few days.
Yeah.
But we get these like when Kristen Stewart finds JJ's body, we see every single step in like them getting rid of the body, and every time, because the next thing that happens is Jackie shoots Daisy.
Yep.
Because basically Jackie ends up in jail.
Lou's like, what the fuck again?
In Vegas, and she calls Lou Senior to help her out because at that point she's like, Lou Senior, he can help out, like he can help out Kristen Stewart, and Lou Senior tasked Jackie with killing Daisy, because Daisy was a witness to all this. And then we see Lou having to take care of the body, like rolling up the carpet and stuff. And there's a pretty funny scene where she like rolls up Daisy in the carpet real quick and throws her behind the couch, and her cat is like, look.
Yeah, the couch is so far away from the wall too. Like it's like a horrible hiding spot.
Yeah, no, those cops are shitty. They rolled fucking Nat 1.
Yeah,
their perception.
Yeah.
But yeah, the cops show up to question her. But yeah, second body she has to dispose of in this movie.
Yep.
And there's a funny bit where like she drops the body down the stairs and like bump down the stairs. But yeah, what's next? Yeah, so at some point here, yeah, Jackie runs away. Lou Senior calls Kristen Stewart basically to tell her like, okay, Daddy's taking care of this. Like Jackie's gonna go to prison for murdering 3 people, and like all this is gonna be taken care of. And he you know, and something I thought about during this movie is like this is like a moment where it's like he's trying to save his daughter.
Yeah.
Here.
He's also reasserting control over her.
Yeah, that's the
really main thing. But yeah, he is also like he does care about her.
Yeah. And you see like in
some capacity, whether it's like as property or like
yeah, as property or just like any kind of connection, whatever human emotion he feels, the closest thing to love that he can feel. He asks for Kristen Stewart. And basically during this phone call, she threatens him. She's like, I'm going to go to the cops and tell them all the shit that I know about.
I pushed that car in a valley where if they find that car, they're going to find a lot of other shit. Yeah. It's incriminating for you.
Indeed. And Ed Harris is like, are you fucking stupid? And then it might be my favorite scene in the movie when he freaks out.
Yeah.
And it's really funny.
It's out of nowhere.
It's out of nowhere. It's really is I don't know. It's the moment that always gets me. So like he's in his office. He's in his like weird like kimono robe.
Yeah.
which they talked about like afterwards in his office in his crazy house, and he breaks all of his fucking containments for his animals, and then he destroys it all, and then he grabs
this big ass beetle.
Beetle and bites its fucking
Just,
head
yeah,
off.
you think is he gonna? Oh,
Like you think is he gonna do it? And he fucking does, just because he's so angry.
yeah. It's a really good way of showing that he's angry. He's comically angry.
Yeah, no, it's so fucking funny. Just like moments like that. I don't know. It's just like that's like a movie
Off
moment.
the wall, yeah.
Yeah, just it's something you don't forget. Like I'll never forget the crunch, dude.
Yeah.
The crunch sound effect is great.
It's got good texture to it.
Yeah. But yeah, so Lou Senior sends a police officer on payroll to kill Lou, because now he has to kill his daughter.
Yep.
And at this point, Kristen Stewart becomes a little bit of a fucking badass. Like she's got, she kills the cop in the gunfight. When she encounters Beth at Lou Senior's house, like she's I think she like, what does she do? She like grabs like Beth's like face wound, like her scar or whatever, and she's like screaming at her, like, Bethany, like, what are you? And Kristen Stewart at this moment is like, oh, she's also fucking capable of being crazy too.
Yeah, they've been pushed to the edge.
Like her dad, like Jackie. And it's cool. I want to see more roles where, like, even in other movies where I've liked her, in like Underwater, she has a pretty subdued performance in Underwater as well. And I would definitely like to see more roles where Kristen Stewart is able to let loose.
Yeah, and
like
be
she does.
Get like explore her range like she does in this movie.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like I just haven't seen a whole lot of that. I know she was in a Charlie's Angels movie, but I haven't seen that. But yeah, no, she's really good here. And then, what's it called? She finds Jackie. Her and Jackie have a little confrontation of themselves in a tennis court, where Jackie like tries to shoot Lou, and it's a real intense. Like you guys, I remember the first time I saw. There's a line in here where Jackie like says something like something's wrong with me, so I'm fucked up, and Kristen Stewart's like, no, Jackie, there's nothing wrong with you. And I was like,
yes, there is. Yeah.
Hang on. But yeah, they have a final confrontation with Lou Senior,
and the most memorable thing in the movie for me happens.
Yeah, then the craziest thing happens, and they talk about it in the behind the scenes, and it is definitely a thing where it's like it's
whatever you want it to be, man.
They do kind of lead up to it in the sense that, like, there are other scenes of kind of like magical realism throughout the movie where it's like it's up to your interpretation. So what we see Lou, Kristen Stewart, she's pinned down by Lou Senior. He's about to kill her, and Jackie like hears Kristen Stewart.
She grows 20 feet tall.
She grows like fucking super tall and pins down, and we thought
like he's a bug even.
He's a little. Yeah, she grabs him, and every time we think, like, is he gonna shove her?
Shove him up? The way it's framed, it looks like she's gonna use him to pleasure herself.
It's like every time it seems like she's ready.
That's not just us being perverted. That's what it looks like. I think it's supposed. I think that's intentional.
It's what it looks like every time.
I swear to God, officer, I think it's intentional.
Yeah. But yeah, and then Kristen Stewart almost kills him, shoves the gun in his mouth.
Yep.
And then Kristen Stewart becomes giant too.
Yep.
And they're wearing sparkly underwear.
They run through the clouds.
And they're giants running through the clouds.
Because hey, the audience has made it this far in the movie.
Yeah. And then it gets kind of intercut with what's really going on in that they're driving away into the sunset. Yeah. And it seems like they're high, and because in reality, what probably actually happened is like, Jackie came back, fucking probably
just kicked his ass,
kicked his ass, and then they bounced. Like is probably what really happened.
But that's how it felt.
But that's how it felt.
Yeah.
Which that's another thing I guess is a combination of both these movies. And then we get. I love the little the end of this movie, where so they're driving. In the truck, and then Daisy's body starts moving in the back of the truck. And Kristen Stewart's like, God damn.
Yeah.
And she goes back. Daisy is still somehow alive, but not looking good.
Yeah.
She's got a fucking bullet hole in her head. Yep. Kristen Stewart kills her real quick. chokes her out, and it's kind of played for like laughs, like, oh god damn it, not again.
And then bam, they have a clean slate and like three bodies following them around now.
And Kristen Stewart grabs a cigarette from Daisy's person, and the movie ends with like Jackie sleeping in the truck and Kristen Stewart smoking over the dead body, and that's the credits. That's roll credits. And yeah, no, it kind of sets up for like you could do a sequel or a prequel. I would like a prequel, seeing like what Jackie did in her hometown, because they definitely lead into that. But you know, I feel like there's more room in this universe to do stuff. I don't necessarily know. I could do a Love Lies Bleeding too if they come up with something good. It just needs to be good.
Yeah,
that's all.
No, it's a really solid movie. Just a solid little drama with some magical realism sprinkled in there, here and there.
Mm-hmm. There's some good violence. There's some good like small action moments. There's great performance. I'd say that's like the best thing is like Katie O'Brien for me is the standout performance of the film. Like she really goes to like places, great. And something that I've always said to every time I watch this movie is that I've never seen a woman in a movie like roided out. Yeah. Like in the sense like going on like a roid rage trip.
Could have had it in season 2 of The Last of Us, but they for some reason.
She definitely should have fucking played Abby.
I don't understand.
I don't know. Especially we talked about. I didn't get to show you, but like her, her hair, her normal hair, because she wears a wig in this movie. It's like that's her normal hair.
Yep.
That's fucking not. Yeah, that's
her straight hair.
Yeah, goddamn it. Yeah, that's fucking Abby right there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
But Lola's Bleeding. Definitely check it out. A24 has a really good for you physical media heads out there. A24 has their like own line of physical media of Blu-rays and DVDs that you order from their website, and Love Lies Bleeding is a great one. It's got a lot of cool special features, a lot of cool shit. Definitely recommend it.
Yep. Check it out.
And now I almost forgot props, and I think there's some good props in this movie.
Man, I'm drawing a blank on props in this movie.
Let's just look at some images. The jacket is
a cool jacket.
Lou and Jackie share a cool 80s jacket.
I'd get a... it's interesting. You type in Love Lies Bleeding and half the images are of a flower. Is that like a name of a flower?
I guess so.
Cool.
I think I'm going to take Lou's Crater Gym.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Crater Gym tank top. Well, it's a shirt that she cut into.
Yeah. I'll take like one of the steroid needles and put that like in a frame and hang it on the wall.
And be like, what's that?
And be like, I don't remember.
A syringe on the wall.
Yeah.
Cool. I want the bug that
the headless bug.
The headless bug that Ed Harris.
Do you think that was like a confectionery that they made?
Yeah, like a fake bug.
Yeah, it's made of like
chocolate bug.
Yeah, it's made of like candy. I love when they do stuff like that.
1 second. I bet this is look upable. Hold up.
Yeah.
Love Lies Bleeding.
Bug.
Real?
Real question mark?
What?
Whoa. Oh no. It's based on a real bug.
Oh, okay. Wait. The most unexpected thing Love Lies Bleeding.
More research is required.
Yeah, more. We'll get back to you next episode.
I hope it's a candy bug.
Yeah, but that's Love Lies Bleeding. Check it out.
Yes.
So the movie we're going to talk about next, movie that I immediately thought of when we were kind of talking about what to pair it with, is Nocturnal Animals.
Yep, which I had never heard of.
You had never heard of, period?
Yep.
Like ever? Just you knew Amy Adams and you knew Jake Gyllenhaal.
I know of those actors. Yes.
Yeah. That's all. But yeah, Nocturnal Animals is a 2016 American neo-noir psychological thriller film written, produced, and directed by Tom Ford.
Yep.
Fun fact about Tom Ford is that mainly he's a fashion designer.
That tracks.
Fashion designer first, filmmaker second. He comes from this like high class art world, which
that
as I was rewatching
this
movie, like it makes a lot of sense to me.
I was like, this director seems like he really likes the smell of his own farts.
Yeah, there's some pretension here for sure. But yeah, basically,
It's interesting. Jake Gyllenhaal is in a movie called Nocturnal Animals and another one called Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler. That's true. Is his what if his character from Nightcrawler was what if Nightcrawler is a book that Jake Gyllenhaal's character in this movie wrote?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
as a thing.
You know what? That would track.
That would track. But basically, as far as like the thing that people need to know, as far as like what Nocturnal Animals is about, like on a spoiler-free level,
It's about a woman reading a book.
It's about a woman reading a book.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, Amy Adams' character, Susan, she was married to Jake Gyllenhaal years ago, like right after, like while they were in grad school, college that time. And Jake Gyllenhaal was an aspiring writer who was trying to write something good. And she kind of comes from this like super astute,
and she's like,
background.
but you're not gonna make any money.
Yeah, and I need to have a secure future, so I'm gonna bounce.
When we meet Amy Adams in this, she is rich and successful and fucking miserable, and it's really hard to like feel bad for her.
Yeah, she's not a good person.
I mean, yeah, she's getting cheated on by her cannibal husband, but that's about it.
Yeah, no, they don't really give her a lot of sympathy for show. It's she you could almost say she's the villain of the piece.
It's like she's just everything she talks about is how sad and dissatisfied with her life she is, but then you look around and she literally lives in this like massive mansion. I guess the whole point is like, oh, she's so successful and rich, and it turns out that's not what she wanted, and that's the biggest twist of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it turns out. Well, I mean, the whole. I see the how do I put it? Let's hold up.
She gave up what she actually wanted for what she thought she wanted, and now years down the line, she's suffering for it.
Yeah, and it's also a thing where it's like, I feel like more broadly than that, kind of what I take away as like the main point of the movie is a lesson about art.
Yeah.
In that, you know, the central argument that she has with Jake Gyllenhaal, like in the flashbacks, is that he believes that all art is autobiographical, and that we all write about ourselves. And it's something that you had mentioned in the last movie, is that, you know, just because something didn't literally happen to you doesn't mean that like you understand what the feeling of it happening to you is. Yeah. And basically, how I kind of took it is like, her reading this book is Jake Gyllenhaal trying to communicate to Amy Adams
what happened,
what it felt,
how it felt to him,
like, how it felt from his, and that's what great art does. Is that it makes you feel like what
look at what
artist
you did to me.
Exactly, is trying to feel.
It's his breakup song.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
and it's his like fuck you letter to Amy Adams, and in a way, just like, you know. So I guess I'll put it from. I like this movie.
Me too.
I think that the actual book. So the thing that people need to know is that there's pretty much 3 plot lines going on in this movie. There is the kind of main plot, which is like Amy Adams in her decadent,
rich and sad
with her cheating Army Hammer husband,
her cannibal husband.
With her cannibal husband, and she's sad. She gets sent the first print, or like the preprint of the first book of her ex-husband Jake Gyllenhaal, Nocturnal Animals.
Yep.
We see, as she's reading this book, in the movie, we see visually represented like actors, you know, like actors like playing these roles. Like,
the more interesting story, which is the book.
Which is the ultimately, like, I think that if this movie was literally just the story of the book,
I'd like it probably just as much, to be honest. I would think about it a lot less, but I would like it about as much.
Yeah, all the representations, because like the story in the book is pretty fucking badass.
It's a good story, like, and it's well.
It's
and
like,
you know, Jake Gyllenhaal is a great actor, so
he's great in there,
and so is Michael Shannon.
So is Michael Shannon. Michael Shannon is a fucking beast.
He's great. This is my favorite role I've ever seen him do.
He's just like the coolest like classic cowboy. Like he played.
Yeah.
So
No.
we're gonna get into spoilers. We're just gonna spoil it. Like yeah, he's a sheriff. He's a cop who's helping Jake Gyllenhaal get revenge.
Yeah.
Try to take down
Content warning.
the people who like basically we'll talk about that scene when we get to it, but like the guys who like kidnapped, raped, and murdered his wife and child in the story of the book. Obviously there are like there are representations of what it means, but as far as in the novel, Michael Shannon is helping him, and he has cancer, and so because he has cancer, he kind of like has this like not give a fuck attitude about everything.
I took that as like that's supposed to be his dad, the author's dad.
Yeah,
like a stand-in for the author's dad.
Maybe that would make sense. Like helping him through the grief of that. So yeah, no, that's definitely possible for sure. Did they mention his dad? So
yeah, his dad died when he was a kid.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense then. Like I said, I was rewatching this movie today. I'd seen it years ago.
Yeah.
I had it on in the background so that there might be certain elements that like I wasn't paying attention to as much.
I went in completely blind.
Yeah, he didn't know anything. What was I saying? Yeah, no, and then a performance I wanted to talk to you about and what I wanted. So, what did you think of Aaron Taylor Johnson in this?
He was great. He was a really, really hateable villain.
Yeah, he was a piece of shit.
Yeah, like he's really good at playing a giant piece of shit. Who's like, he's not even like, he's like a sadist, but he's like not intelligent like a lot of villains usually are. Like he's kind of just, he's a little man who really, with a really short temper, who really likes having power over people. He's just a monster. But yeah, no, we can get into that as we. Yeah,
the reason I wanted to ask you about that performance particularly is because Aaron Taylor Johnson is an actor that like when he shows up and stuff, I always have to convince like, no, he's a good actor. I swear.
He is. He was good in Nosferatu.
Yeah, he was good, but he definitely gets to be crazy in this.
Yeah, he does a good job in this movie. I really wanted to see him die.
Yeah. So breaking into we might have to kind of jump around in this because the movie also kind of jumps around talking about certain scenes.
We can do like one plot and then the other plot.
By the way, I didn't warn you about the opening of this movie.
No.
I forgot.
I was thinking about that. So this movie opens up with nude, overweight women dancing for about, I don't know, like 10 minutes until the opening credits go.
Yeah, dancing with fancy makeup and like twirlers and stuff.
And I was like, what is this? How is this going to relate to the movie?
What the
Answer,
fuck is going on?
Really doesn't. I took it, I think on one level it's saying like, now you have no idea where this movie's going, or like what, like you, this is we want to keep you completely guessing the entire way through. It was like, and also art is meaningless if you have no context.
So, that's definitely a way to look at it. The way that I've seen it explained in the couple of video essays that I've watched about this movie, is that the whole thing is like Amy Adams is watching these women dancing and like enjoying themselves, enjoying their bodies, while they don't physically have the appearance of like what is considered desirable in culture. Like their bodies aren't considered that, but they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because they're enjoying this. They do not possess the bodies of what society tells you you're supposed to have. Yet they are loving their life. They're doing their art. They're doing what they love. They're enjoying themselves. Right. And then when we see Amy Adams,
she's just incapable of that.
She's incapable of fucking feeling joy whatsoever.
Absolutely.
And the whole thing is, but she has everything that society tells that her mother and that society tells her that she should fucking want.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it too.
That is the most common interpretation I've seen of the opening of this movie, and Amy Adams like looking at this gallery of the women. And And what was even weirder though is that when it panned out, like there's the video playing of them,
Yeah.
but then they're lying on the tables. What the fuck was that?
I thought those were like really detailed sculptures of them.
That's creepy.
Because
that's creepier.
Yeah, well, because they're there, and then we see them hours later, and they're the exact same position, and literally only Amy Adams is in there with them. So I don't know.
Yeah. Wikipedia doesn't say specifically.
Wikipedia, please.
Yeah. But yeah, basically, yeah, we get that opening. Yeah, Amy Adams, Susan Morrow, her character's name. She owns this art gallery.
Yeah.
This is the art that's being shown. She goes home. Talks with her shitty. She goes talks with her shitty
husband or shitty friends,
who she wants to hang out with. You know, everyone around her is shitty.
Yep.
And like vapid and like doesn't, and it just doesn't.
Hollywood as
like,
fuck.
Yeah, no, just doesn't have any substance. I think that's ultimately the thing. I don't want to say it's necessarily a problem. It's pretty. All of the stuff in her life is pretty on the nose. Like in
this whole movie is kind of on the nose. Like every conversation everyone has, It like, and it's not even really like a critique. It's more like, it's super dramatic, and everyone's talking like it's a play, like it's super wordy. Like it's written like a novel, even when it's not in a novel.
Yeah. Everything is super purposeful in the sense that like. Nobody feels like real people. Nobody's a real person. Even the people that, especially the people that are inside the book, feel more like real people than the people outside the book.
Maybe that's one of the points.
Maybe that is one of the points. That's true. But fucking no, it's just like a lot of what's going on. You kind of see it coming with like, and a lot of it is because she starts reading the book because Jake Gyllenhaal, like we said earlier, Jake Gyllenhaal. Her ex-husband sends her a version of the book. It's going to come out in a few months. And she starts reading it. Every time she reads a section of it and we see it played out, we see her immediate reaction to it.
And she's devastated.
And she's devastated every time. Like the part where Jake Gyllenhaal in the book finds his family's bodies, like his dead wife and dead daughter's like mutilated bodies.
Yeah.
She calls her daughter, who presumably is like at college or whatever, and like there's I don't know if you know there's a match shot where it's like Jake Gyllenhaal's family's bodies are like put in this very specific way.
Yeah.
And when she calls her daughter,
she's
her daughter
in the same
is like
position. A lot of nudity in this movie.
Yeah, there is a lot of nudity in both these movies.
There's so much nudity that I was like, what is this? What is this trying to convey? And I've never really landed on anything, but there's a lot of nudity in a lot of different contexts in this movie.
Yeah.
And maybe that just sailed over my head, but I can't figure out what the point of that is.
Aaron Taylor Johnson taking a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I just think that people want to see naked people.
That's fair. You know what? That's fair. This is a grown-up movie for grown-ups.
I think it's one of the. I think it's one of those things.
Maybe.
I mean, the nudity in the sense that, like, how do I put it? I think the nudity every time it's. Honestly, the nudity to me that has the most purpose in the movie is the opening. Like outside of that, like a lot of the other one is like why necessarily. Well, and I guess the nudity in when he finds his family is explicitly to say that like they were like sexually assaulted as well as murdered.
Look at how really undefended they are.
Yeah, to drive that home. Yeah, how vulnerable they are. Yeah. How vulnerable they are, and also and as in that like. You also see that horror reflected in Jake Gyllenhaal's reaction and performance. Is like, not only was my family kidnapped and murdered and I couldn't do anything about it, like they were violated.
He sells that too.
Yeah, no, he's is fucking fantastic.
You can tell this must have been like really challenging.
Yeah, he just definitely is one of the greatest actors working right now.
Yeah, he is.
Like I rewatched Nightcrawler actually a few months ago, and I'm like, God damn,
he's so good.
This performance is so fucking good.
But but in the book, it's a man and his wife and his kid or his daughter, his teenage daughter, on a road trip.
Yes, I want to talk about this scene.
Yeah,
this is my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah, they get harassed. It's a very long scene with like a lot of repetition, just to like, and I think I was frustrated. I was yelling at the screen, and I think you're supposed to be. It didn't make any sense in the moment, but it made sense as the movie went on. There's a lot of points as they're getting harassed by these rednecks, and getting like closer and closer to something really bad happening to his family, when he could have done something. Like there's so many points like when he could have stopped it. There's like 10 or so like when they pulled him over, he could have kept going. Like when he's like, "There's a car, the car's blocking the way," just back up and go around it. They're walking up, they're talking to him through the window. He could have driven away. They tell him to get his wife and kid out of the car. He just gets them out of the car. He gets out of the car. There's so many parts.
I mean, they say in the background like they don't know if these guys have like guns.
But like that's the problem is he's ineffective in that entire scene. To the point where he's honestly not even really trying. He's like trying to talk these guys out of doing what they want. Like that's going to do anything.
Yeah.
He gives them a tire iron. It's super frustrating, but that's honestly the point. His character, because the whole point of the book is this whole thing happened because I was too weak to stop it from happening.
Yeah.
That's how he felt about it, and it's said very explicitly later in the movie. It's like, okay, I guess I get it now.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah. I didn't have a problem with it in the moment in that, like, I just chalked it up to he was scared as fuck.
Well, yeah.
In the moment, he was scared for himself. He was scared for his family, and like he's,
Yeah.
And he is in that moment. Yeah, like he is kind of just like
he's very passive,
a spineless dude.
And it's like if you're really this scared of these guys, then maybe you shouldn't be giving them everything that they want.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's a big part of like why he blames himself because like he's like there is so much that he could have done that he just didn't. And even like as far as like when he does kind of like start to get his revenge, like Michael Shannon is the fucking pushing force.
Yeah, well,
like really.
Yeah, when Michael Shannon meets him, this is jumping around, but I think that's appropriate for the movie. When Michael Shannon first meets him, he's like, "And you're saying you didn't see a gun?" And he's like, "No, I didn't see a gun." He's like, "Okay," and you can see that like Michael Shannon's he's like judging him.
He's a little offended
the whole time. He's like, "Why didn't you fucking do anything this whole time?" And it might just be him being sensitive to it, but it's like, you can tell like this guy would be like, "What? Why wouldn't you didn't do anything this whole time?"
Yeah. No, it makes sense definitely, and I understand that being a critique in the moment, and then later
it makes sense later. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I didn't have a problem with it initially. I was just like,
it's a scary situation. Yeah.
Yeah. But just real quick, I want to talk about before we move on in the plot is like Aaron Taylor Johnson's introduction to me is like he's so creepy throughout this whole scene.
Yep.
Like all of his little mannerisms, like he. And he's like, let's exchange information. I like long sunsets and walks on the beach.
He's making stupid little jokes.
And he's got these like neon green like cowboy boots.
Yeah.
And he's dancing all over the place. He's like the Joker.
Yeah, he is.
Like,
he's
like a fucking psycho from Borderlands. Yeah, like I just and I found him just to be so disgusting.
Yeah,
in this
he's
movie.
a gross asshole. He does a really good job.
Yeah. But yeah, so Amy Adams is disgusted by all this. We get so throughout the kind of middle section of the movie, it kind of cuts between the middle of the movie. We get a lot more flashbacks with like Amy Adams' character and Jake Gyllenhaal, the beginning of their relationship. Like they went to undergrad together, and then they run into each other.
Yep.
Well, they're both they're in like the grad school. They're in their like mid-20s in New York City.
Yeah.
They start a relationship.
These two absolutely gorgeous people.
Yeah, just like literally like a novel.
Yeah.
Or something. And they start this relationship. And the middle of the movie, we kind of get all these. There's
flashbacks.
Flashbacks, and there's a lot of conversations in general just about like the meaning of art.
Yeah.
And like like Jake Gyllenhaal like has all these. Yeah. He's a romantic and he's kind of like a traditionalist in the sense
Amy
of like,
Adams is like, I'm not a creative, and he's like, it's because you don't try to be. Like you could be.
Yeah. And it definitely is like, I think there's a thing too where it's like Jake Gyllenhaal in these past moments, I remember thinking like he was kind of pissing me off.
Really?
Like he's kind of coming off as like this just kind of insecure.
Yeah,
dude
he is.
Who like, which makes sense as far as like
he's a sensitive art boy.
He is a little sensitive art boy, and he isn't like, and how do I put it? and yeah, he's not being an adult.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a dynamic that makes sense as far as like why he would end up that way. I
I
don't
mean,
know. For me, it's
but he works like it's not like they live in New York, don't they? Like
yeah,
they're holding down an apartment in New York, so it's not that they're broke. It's that Amy Adams comes from a rich family and she wants more.
yeah,
As much as she wants to not be like her mother, she ends up being exactly like her mother, just like her mother predicts.
yeah. There's her mother exactly. I really like that scene with her mom in the diner where her mom's like, "You're gonna leave him. You're gonna get bored with him, and we all become our mothers."
Yep.
Interesting little moment.
And then she does, and she's like, "What you're gonna like? You're gonna make it big as an author when you're working in a fucking bookstore?" And it's like, why doesn't he try like modeling?
Yeah.
Fucking look at this guy, Jesus.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as like other kind of scenes that we could talk about, I mean the I don't know. For me, it's like it's all about the fucking book. Like
the book is the best part.
I really like the there's a time skip in the book of I think they say a year where the case kind of went cold, but then
Michael Shannon's never stopped working on it.
He's never stopped working on it. One of the criminal guys, because it's three dudes. One of the dudes gets caught for a robbery for a different crime, and Michael Shannon brings Jake Gyllenhaal in to identify him. This dude, what's his name? Fucking the novel. Oh, I like how it's divided. Turk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh no, Lou. Lou is the one. Who they bring him to the scene of the crime. And they use him to track down. Aaron Sarah Johnson's character Ray. And I'm trying to remember exactly. Like I said,
Jake Gyllenhaal identifies him in the lineup, and then there's like a really cool like interrogation scene. Because like, listen, police brutality is not cool. I don't like cops. This scene, when you know that these guys are rapists for a fact, I don't have a problem seeing bad things happen to him. So Michael Shannon like pulling his gun and like leaning in and intimidating this guy is kind of badass.
Yeah, no, Michael Shannon is fucking Clint Eastwood.
He is.
I think a part of it is like maybe aside from being Jake Gyllenhaal's father, maybe it's more like he's the kind of man that Jake Gyllenhaal wants to be.
He's that strong part of himself.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. Like he's that fucking like tough,
John Wayne,
tough as nails guy who's like, what do you think? Yeah, what do you think? Do you think the cancer represents anything?
Just that I don't. It's a part of it. It's him like fading away, whether be it his father or that part of himself that strength. I don't know. There's a lot going on in this movie thematically. Like it invites you to look at everything in this book as a metaphor for something else. So
yeah, when one of the video essays I saw said that Aaron Taylor Johnson's character represented
Armie Hammer.
As like that correlation.
Yeah.
As far as like being the driving force behind Amy Adams aborting Jake Gyllenhaal's child, which that is another thing too. Is like as far as like a bit of a, I don't want to say problem, something that like
he takes a lot of issue with.
He takes a lot of issue with Amy Adams getting this abortion.
Yeah,
and that's honestly like the core of the book at least. Like his reaction to her aborting
she's gone and their unborn child is gone.
Yeah, and it's Jake Gyllenhaal, him feeling that loss, which is like it's a thing where it's like, yeah, you can't deny how he feels, but at least more me bringing my morals into it, I'm like, well, she can fucking do what she wants.
Well, yeah.
But then part of it is also
he's
like
allowed to be upset about it.
Yeah, how much was Armie Hammer pressuring her? Like, there's a lot. Yeah, I
Aaron Taylor Johnson could also represent her.
Yeah,
because it was her decision ultimately.
Yeah. No, it's the whole thing. They're only redhead women in this movie as well.
Yep.
That's another thing. Yeah, no. So, I really like the scene in the diner where, and that's another one too, where when Michael Shannon tells Jake Gyllenhaal that he has cancer, and what's it called? And Jake Gyllenhaal's trying to show some genuine concern for him, and Michael Shannon's just staying tough, like,
it's like, nope, daughter don't know. Anyway, can we get back to the conversation at hand?
Back to shit. You know, he's so cool.
He is great. He's my favorite character.
Yeah, no, for sure. What's his character's name? Bobby Andes.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
Sick name.
Yeah, but yeah, they go pick up Ray while he's taking a shit. A fun little reintroduction.
Naked on his porch in a toilet that works for some reason on his porch.
An outdoor toilet.
Yeah. On his porch directly outside of his motorhome or whatever it is, his shack.
Yeah. Fucking strange. But what's it called? Yeah, they take him and they take Lou out to this shack and like basically torture them.
Yep.
Get ready to kill them. This is like, I'm sorry, just I was moving around a lot of stuff during this like.
No, it's all good.
Final bit, but do you want to talk more about? Do you want to kind of take the lead more on talking about the ending of this movie?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they take the both of them in this room, and this is a scene later. And Michael Shannon is so sick that he can't really be in the room for longer than a couple minutes, so he's like stepping out to like retch. So he gives Jake Gyllenhaal the gun, and they both see him as like not being able to actually shoot them. So they both just make a run for it. Michael Shannon comes out and kills the fuck out of what's his name?
Out of
Lou. Another character named Lou.
Too many all these characters named Lou in these books.
Yeah. And yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal has a really good scene where he's like, "I'm glad you fucking killed him. I'm upset that I couldn't stop it." He like falls to his knees and he screams, and it's a big Oscar moment. And it's really good, like big acting moment. And then the final scene, Michael Shannon, I think he says he's gonna meet up with him down the road or something, and then Jake Gyllenhaal confronts Aaron Taylor Johnson in a shitty little shack, and they have like a nice little standoff with a cool little conversation about weakness or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Amy Adams is like, "I can't believe I did that to
you." Yeah. And Jake Gyllenhaal shoots him in the chest, and he gets brained by Aaron Taylor Johnson, and ultimately they both die, which I'm also still trying to work out what that means.
Well, yeah, with Jake Gyllenhaal dying.
Yeah, also dying after the fact. It's a lot.
Oh, maybe it's him saying, "You, like, the weak part of me is dead."
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe that's what he's.
I finally got closure, and now that part of me's gone, and I can leave it behind. You know what? That does make a lot of sense, because after that, Amy Adams reaches out to her ex-husband, Jake Gyllenhaal, and asks if he wants to meet for dinner, and he says yes, and then he stands her up, and that's the end of the movie. So it is like he's left that behind. Here's the question, though. Why'd he agree to see her? Was that just a fuck you? That's literally the only thing I can think of.
I guess.
Because he said, like, yes, absolutely, and then he just doesn't show up. That's open to interpretation. Like, maybe he thought about it and then decided against it, or maybe he was just like, no, fuck you.
They don't tell specifically. Like, she just
ends
there alone at this drum.
Yeah, it just ends with no one showing up.
Yeah. Fun fact: Michael Shannon got nominated for Best Supporting Actor for this movie.
Hell yeah.
The year came out.
It's a very likable character.
Yeah, but Marshall Ali won that year for Moonlight, which that's fair.
Hirsch.
He was really good. Yeah. But this movie ends. Yeah, it's a little bit of a lukewarm ending to me as far as like.
It's kind of frustrating ending.
Yeah, it just kind of ends. Like, there's no big final conversation with Jake Gyllenhaal, or like it'd be some crazy shit if like he showed up. If Jake Gyllenhaal showed up with his new wife, and it's Isla Fisher, who was his wife from the book.
Whoa. No,
that'd be crazy.
I mean, I totally understand like, because it's like, no, I'm not gonna like explain the end of this book. I'm not gonna explain this book to you or like what it means. Like, if you can't figure it out, then it's like that's on you, Amy Adams.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it makes sense for him to not want to see her. Though I think the only reason he would stand her up is like as one last like middle finger. That's the only thing that makes any sense to me.
Yeah.
And Amy Adams
But,
continues to be miserable. That's the end of the book.
and then her life still sucks. Her husband's still cheating
Yep.
on her. But maybe I don't know. Maybe she gets into psychedelics
Yep.
or something.
Yeah, she
But
takes mushrooms the next day.
Yeah, but that's Nocturnal Animals.
Yep.
Yeah, it's. I think it's a cool. I think
Just check it out.
I think the narrative, the device of the story within a story is
Yeah.
is interesting. I think it's utilized well here in that, like, it is cool to kind of think about how the things in the book relate to like what's happening in her life and whatnot. But for me personally, the thing that stands out the most is just is like Love Lies Bleeding, like is the performances.
Yeah.
Like, these are both such character driven stories.
Absolutely.
And both these, and I feel like movies like this are great opportunities for these actors to just shine. Like, it's a lot of dialogue. It's a lot of these like concentrated scenes with like a handful of characters like in rooms. And yet you had said earlier that they're like plays. Like both of them have these like play like qualities.
Absolutely. This one's a lot. This one's really cerebral though.
Yeah.
So it tells you that it has a lot of layers, and then it has a lot of layers. So
yeah,
I ended up thinking about it for a while after I saw it.
Yeah, no, yeah. There's a lot to chew on for sure. I definitely say. I was about to say that watch Love Is Bleeding for a lighter time, but neither of these movies are particularly fucking light.
Yeah.
I think personally, I think Love Lies Bleeding is more fun.
I would agree with that. This movie's a lot more dour throughout.
Yeah, this movie is not it's not a big old crazy adventure.
No,
it's definitely just like a dark tale of revenge and redemption and dark shit. But I think it's well done. Yeah, no, and like I said, I definitely would be interested to see what the just book version of this movie is.
It does exist.
Similar to the thing of...
It's based on a book. It is.
Oh, it is based on a book?
Yeah.
Tony and Susan.
Yeah, Tony and Susan.
Oh, okay. Well, I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm thinking of this like this, but like it almost makes me think of this is gonna be the weirdest connection. The Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Oh, interesting.
Like the new one with Chris Pine.
Yeah.
When it was announced, I thought it would be a really cool idea of like, what if during the D&D game we see them playing D&D, like as in like we see actors playing the characters, like you get the adventure.
Community episode.
What?
A community episode.
The community episode, but then every once in a while it switches to the format of that community episode where like we see the actual players, like some teams
There's like
around
a little bit
table.
of drama going on in real life, and that might influence the game, and vice versa.
And, like having it structured like that.
That'd be cool.
So, like Nocturnal Animals, where like it connects. That's what I wanted. I still thought that movie was fun, but and also, if you watch that movie, there are things where it's like you can. If you play D&D, you know, like, oh, they rolled a nat. Like, oh, the DM like had to come up with something real quick right there. Like, if you watch it through that lens, but something more literal would have been cool. So I don't know. This made me. Nocturnal Animals made me think of the D&D movie in that regard.
That is what I would have liked.
Do you have a prop for this one?
Michael Shannon's hat.
It's a good hat.
His big 10-gallon hat.
Yeah. The toilet. No, not the. I'm trying to think. Maybe in the art gallery, the big sign that just says "Revenge."
That's a cool one.
In the art gallery,
yeah.
I think that'd be a cool one to have. For
the
sure.
Broken phone with the hillbilly jump scare on it.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to see the movie to understand that one.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's Nocturnal Animals. Check it out. That's Love Lies Bleeding. I'm curious. I don't think Love Lies Bleeding is on any streaming services, but is Nocturnal Animals? No, it looks like it's only rentable as well.
Damn.
But yeah, no, definitely check them out. Yeah, this has been Midnight Movie Gang. It's currently 10:05 p.m. Night Movie Gang. Thank you folks so much for listening. Yeah, like I said, we're glad to be back. We've been in a gap. I definitely content will ramp up as, like, how do I put it? Once myself and Courtney have kind of started our new jobs and are like settled and we're in like a pattern.
Shouldn't take long.
Yeah, more shit will be pumped out. But just thank you, at the very least right now, for listening to these episodes. And yeah, see you around. Bye.
Bye.
So, here we go. With childish frustrations and complexes which the police are searching for James Todd, believed to make a number of things with him, and her partner is the horrible murder of Walter. Where's everybody that I'm here to hold on? Oh, please tell me where this going. Please tell me. Sorry, I don't know. How long is it? How hopeless that I got in here? 3 tickets to Albany on 6 o'clock train tonight. For the old thing. Special agent.